Laurel High Global School is known for its vision to create global citizens and future leaders with 21st century competencies in a learner-friendly and inspiring environment. Teacher plays a key role in preparing leaders. Today, with this aim, Laurel High Global School is organizing a conference on Teacher Ethos for the teachers from different districts of Andhra Pradesh. The conference is addressed by Dr. Martin Rahman from Germany, who is a research assistant at the Institute of Education in the University of Tübingen in Germany.
గురువుని బ్రహ్మ విష్ణు మహేశ్వరులతో పోలుస్తాం. భావి పౌరులను తయారు చేసే గురువుల పాత్ర అనిర్వచనీయం. వ్యాప్తంగా వస్తున్న ఆధునిక విద్యా విధానానికి అనుగుణంగా ఉపాధ్యాయుల పాత్రను మార్చేందుకు గోదావరి జిల్లాలో తలమానికమైన రాజమహేంద్రిలోని లారెల్ హై గ్లోబల్ స్కూల్ తొలి అడుగు వేసింది. ఈ మార్పు తమ స్కూల్లోని ఉపాధ్యాయులకు మాత్రమే కాకుండా రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా అన్ని స్కూల్స్లో ఉన్నత ప్రమాణాలు నెలకొనాలనే సదాశయంతో అంతర్జాతీయ విద్యా నిపుణులతో నిరంతర వర్క్షాపులు ఏర్పాటు చేస్తూ కొత్త ట్రెండ్ సృష్టిస్తుంది లారెల్ హై గ్లోబల్ స్కూల్. అందులో భాగంగా జర్మనీకి చెందిన ప్రముఖ రీసెర్చ్ స్కాలర్ డాక్టర్ మార్టిన్ రహమాన్ను ప్రత్యేకంగా రప్పించి రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా ప్రముఖ విద్యా సంస్థల ప్రతినిధులను ఆహ్వానించి టీచర్ ఎథోస్ అనే వర్క్షాపు విజయవంతంగా నిర్వహించింది. డాక్టర్ మార్టిన్ టీచర్ ఎథోస్ వర్క్షాప్లో ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా విద్యా విధానంలో చోటు చేసుకుంటున్న మార్పులు పరిణామాలను వివరించడంతో పాటు టీచర్లు ఎదుర్కొంటున్న సమస్యలపై చర్చించారు. తల్లిదండ్రులు విద్యార్థులకు చక్కటి అవగాహన ఏ విధంగా కల్పించాలి అనే అంశాన్ని మార్టిన్ వివరించారు. విద్యార్థుల్లో నిబిడీకృతమైన నైపుణ్యాలను వెలికితీయడం, చదువును ఇష్టపడే విధంగా వారిని తయారు చేయడం ఎలాగో సాంకేతిక పరిజ్ఞాన సహకారంతో ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా జరిగిన రీసెర్చ్ వివరాలను ఉపాధ్యాయులతో పంచుకున్నారు మార్టిన్. ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో లారెల్ హై గ్లోబల్ స్కూల్ బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ అడ్వైజర్ డాక్టర్ కరణం పుష్పనాథం టీచర్ ఎథోస్ వర్క్షాప్కి నేతృత్వం వహించి పలు విలువైన అంశాలను రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా విచ్చేసిన విద్యా నిపుణులతో పంచుకున్నారు. లారెల్ హై కరెస్పాండెంట్ సుంకర రవికుమార్ ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని పర్యవేక్షించారు. డాక్టర్ కరణం పుష్పనాథం ఎలాంటి సూచనలు చేశారు, విద్యా నిపుణులు విద్యావేత్తలు ఏమన్నారు, టీచర్ ఎథోస్పై డాక్టర్ మార్టిన్ ఈస్ట్ న్యూస్తో పంచుకున్న అనేక కీలక అంశాలు ఇప్పుడు చూద్దాం.
I give to them is going to mold them a great personalities in future. Don't you think I'm actually doing a noble job? So that really makes me proud to be a teacher all the time, and therefore I am really enjoying doing it by thinking about what is going to happen to these children in the future to come. Therefore I'm always happy and I'm fortunate to be a teacher. And he went to the third teacher, and the third teacher said, teaching is my job for which I am paid. I am supposed to take these many hours of classes every day. I need to complete the syllabus, I need to conduct examinations, I need to declare results. So I always need to be track of time. That's what I am doing, for which I am paid. Friends, how you take it, your profession, really inspire you and help you to formulate your behavior. Therefore, I am very much like this topic because our belief systems really translate our behaviors. What you believe in can be seen in your behavior. If I believe that as a teacher I have great responsibility, my behavior towards my learners, my institution will be excellent, will be a different way. If I believe that I am doing something useless, your behavior resembles. Therefore, this is a forum in which the practitioners of various schools, I am extremely happy that you have responded to the invitation of the school and you are here. And this is, as Mr. Ravi said, this is just a beginning. It is the beginning to invigorate our intellectual discourses and discussions, and to create a kind of ecosystem of providing opportunities for the young learners. And if you want to bring any change, it is you and me, those who are actually working in the field of education, can bring it. I think such intellectual forums are very, very important, and I wish such forums to happen more frequently in this institution. And your ideas, your thoughts, your expressions, your concerns are more important to build the future of the city of Rajahmundry and the state of Andhra Pradesh, and also India as a nation. So when I said the teacher ethos are basically what teachers believe in. We have our own belief systems, right? This is the forum where we need to reflect about what you believe in yourself. What kind of beliefs you have about assumptions about your institution. What kind of assumptions and beliefs you have about your curriculum, your learners, your parents. And then how we can really regulate our behavior by changing our belief systems. That makes teachers as a professional teachers. I think at the end of the session, Martin will enlighten us about what is the teacher ethos means and what does it matter to educational practices in terms of the professional growth and development of teachers, the institutional efficiency, and also the learning outcomes. So I don't want to be in between Dr. Martin and the excellent, wonderful group of teachers. So I leave to Martin. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm doing currently research on teacher ethos and responsibility, and focusing on value and value orientation. It is a part or an approach of teacher ethos, because we have so many approaches in the scientific research on teacher ethos. I'm focusing on one part and one perspective, and it's a value orientation. And I'm also looking on the continuing education and training of in-service teachers. So that are the main three parts of my research today at the University of Tübingen. And I'm also doing now some research, common research project with Professor Pushpanam from the MS University of Baroda on value orientation. So we developed a questionnaire and it's a Tübingen inventory of to measure value orientation in the teaching profession. And we used this questionnaire here in India together and collected data from different states, from pre-service and in-service teachers, and would like to have a deeper look on the value orientation that the Indian teachers have. So that's also the reason why I'm here, besides the workshop on teacher ethos, to do a common research project and to compare a little bit the value orientations in India and in Germany, and hopefully in other countries as well.
What different values and value orientations play a role in teacher ethos?
Yeah, we know from the literature and the scientific discourse that a couple of values seems to be important, like caring or justice, responsibility, truthfulness, tolerance, and so on. So what we do not know is, on an evidence-based level, are these values are important for teachers, and can we measure it with a questionnaire? So that's what we are doing now in Germany and in India, to have an evidence-based look on the values of teachers, so in-service teachers and pre-service teachers, because The literature on professionalization, on teaching profession, emphasize the importance of values. Besides knowledge, motivation, self-regulation, beliefs, values seems to be an important part to be a professional, to act like a professional teacher. And now we developed our instrument, the Tübingen Inventory, to measure value orientation in the teaching profession, the TIVO, and we have evidence from Germany now that we can measure caring, justice, responsibility, and truthfulness as important values in the teaching profession. And we hopefully to gain more insights now with this questionnaire, with this instrument in India as well. So from our point of view, from an evidence-based view, with this particular instrument, we can say that for teachers, these 4 different values are important. But let me add one important point. We cannot be sure if these are the only 4 values that are important in the teaching profession. But maybe there are different values in India, different values in Germany, different values in other countries that are important in the teaching profession. But with our instrument, we can be sure that we can measure these 4 values.
So, besides values in the teaching profession, as a perspective on teacher ethos, and you are conducting conference on teacher ethos, what is teacher ethos?
This is a really good question, and till today we have no clear answer what teacher ethos is. I think we all agree that teacher ethos is important, but what it is hard to explain. So in research, we have different approaches on teacher ethos. For example, the value approach, I'm doing research right now, but also approach of caring or professional codes of conduct, for example. So there are several approaches that are dealing with teacher ethos. Besides, we have different perspectives also on teacher ethos. So ethos regarding to the general life, we can separate in an individual, on an individual level, like the subject meaning, and on an object meaning, like culture. And we can go on and say, okay, on the individual level, the subject meaning, teacher ethos comes to light in the profession as an individual work ethos, like my life values or norms, for example. And then, on the other hand, the culture, the object meaning, we can separate it on the one hand in an institutional ethos. So it comes to light in a school curriculum, in the educational philosophy of each school. So as kind of guidelines in the school. And on the other hand, we have kind of professional ethos that refers to all teachers in the profession. And it comes to light in a professional code of conduct. But to be honest, there is no code of conduct for all teachers in the world. Compare like to the medicine sector with a Hippocratic oath. They have a kind of professional code of conduct for all doctors in the world. But this is still missing for teachers. Yeah. So to answer your question, after showing how complex teacher ethos is, I will come to a short definition. And this short definition is based on the work of a colleague of mine, Sarah Forster-Heinzer from Switzerland. And she gave a nice definition of teacher ethos, that teacher ethos refer to kind of active commitment of a teacher to his or her pedagogical responsibility, and also the effort to create a learning environment for the students and support them with this environment to develop in a positive way. That means that the teacher ethos displayed when he or she acts on behalf of the pedagogical goals that are anchored in the Educational Act, for example, or in the school curriculum as well, and also take care of these pedagogical goals in different situations during the lessons, and also concerning the students' abilities and the whole teaching environment. So this is teacher ethos, or one definition of teacher ethos. We can have. Yeah.
Why is teacher ethos in general is important in the profession of teaching?
Yeah, it is often it's a question asked question why it is important. Let me try to answer it with three perspectives. So, firstly, we know from evidence-based research, like the huge meta study from John Hattie, Visible Learning, and also from other studies, that the teachers have a great influence on the achievement of students. And the features that influence achievement are, among others, for example, the student-teacher relationship, or not labeling the students. And therefore, for example, values as a part of teacher ethos comes into light. So to help to improve the student-teacher relationship. Knowledge is important, motivation is important, but also values and kind of teacher ethos, this attitude is important to build up this kind of relationship, and not labeling students as well. We all know that it's not good to labeling students, and we know it is important to improve the student-teacher relationship, but it needs more than the knowledge. It needs this attitude, this responsibility to build them up. So this is the first point why teacher ethos, in my opinion, is important for the teaching profession. Secondly, it comes into light with, I would like to frame it, educational freedom for teachers. So as you know, teachers are most of the time alone in the classroom. We actually don't know what they are doing. We will measure in the end the results of the students, and if the results are okay, we hope that and think the teacher is a good teacher. And if the results are bad, then we say, okay, it's a bad teacher. He's not doing good, and he's not teaching well. So I think because of this educational freedom, because the teacher is responsible in his class and do it on his or her own, so nobody is watching him or her, that comes with a great responsibility, with a great pedagogical responsibility. And you cannot, it's not the kind of knowledge or competence you achieve, and then you be aware and can deal with the pedagogical responsibility. So you need a kind of teacher ethos that helps you to be aware and to deal with the pedagogical responsibility and with the educational freedom you have as a teacher in the classroom. And thirdly, and that's the last aspect why, in my point of view, teacher ethos is important for the teaching profession. If you compare teachers, human teachers, with learning robots or learning machines, and the discussion is coming up, and we know how digitalization influences schools and how learnification becomes more and more important. So what are the great difference between a human teacher and the learning machine? In my point of view, teacher ethos that comes to light. It comes into light and makes a great difference between the learning machine and the digitalization in learning and the teacher as a human being. So teacher ethos is important to build up the relationship between students and teachers, for example, and as I mentioned before, and therefore I think teacher ethos is important, and teachers should be aware of teacher ethos, and teacher ethos makes a great difference between human and mechanic teachers, also in the future, I think. So that's important. So to sum it up, teacher ethos is important because teachers have a great influence on the achievement of students, and therefore it is important to build up the student-teacher relationship. Secondly, we have this kind of educational freedom within the pedagogical responsibility, and we need to be aware of it and to deal with it. We need a kind of attitude, and this kind of attitude might be a teacher ethos. And thirdly, in times of learning machines and to make a difference between learning machines and human teachers, or teacher ethos is also comes to light, and it's very important in the teaching profession.
Dr. Martin, you are seeing lot of educational institutes in all over the world in the research part. What do you feel about Laurel High Global School standards and environment in this school?
I think it is an amazing school building that they built now and opened 4 months ago. I think it is a very good environment. If you have a look on all the maintenance and the building and the opportunities the children have here. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is educational philosophy and the people who works here. And I get to know the teachers at Laurel High yesterday in an in-house workshop on teacher ethos, and they are very motivated and they are very into the teaching profession and like to work with children, enlighten them, and I think this is the second important point. Besides all the buildings, all the stuff you provide here, you need humans, you need teachers that they take care of the children and are passionate in the teaching profession. And I think both comes together here with a nice concept on the 21st century competences that they would implement here in the school. So the 3 parts I really much like at the Laurel Global High School here in Pachmundri.
Is it international standard school?
I would like to say yes. Compared to other schools, it's an international standard, and I think a lot of schools, also in Europe, in America and other countries, can learn from the school. For example, the architecture is very open, very transparent, so there are windows that you can look through to each room, so nobody hides behind walls, and I think it's really interesting, and it's really worth to come around and have a look here at the school and the development that starts here.
I'm thinking the most important value is joy of giving. If we conduct every school for children aspect joy of giving week, we should collect some old clothes, old bicycles, old sports items, old instruments, so many books, bags, everything are very useful for some kind of other area children. It's useful and the very, very essential value to inculcate students, I think. Thank you.
Good morning, one and all. This is Palabanu. Our teammates and all the colleagues, we have decided, we have one more important point, which is the basic for the next generation to build up. The important word is social behavior. Because in this technological and globalized world, that 5-inch gadget is giving more important than a living being in the society. And after a certain point, the child goes into this super world where a teacher, however he or she behaves in the class, in the school, in the institutions, etc., that will make him or her to expose more. Like, she will have to act as an idol to the whole society. So, giving less importance, encouraging the students to believe in the teachers and then the technology, etc., that would lead much more important, because we have been reading the newspapers, how the children are their behaviors, etc.
Good morning, all. We've come from Belvedere International, Tanuku, and I would like to share just one thought. There are many values, but truthfulness, I feel, is the most important value. As you said, as Dr. Martin said, that what teacher is doing inside the class is very important. Because we all are not dealing with the machineries, we are dealing with the human beings. God has given us children, living lives. We have to mold them and motivate them. So it's very important to be truthful with the children, and we are the role models. Two eyes are watching children, but there are 40, 60 eyes watching us. So we have to be the role model. What we practice, we should not teach, but we should practice, and then children will adopt it themselves. Thank you.
Assurance to the students that I'm here. That the students may feel difficulty in many areas, but as a teacher, we should give them a little assurance that, dear, just giving a pat or giving a push, saying that you can, and we are here to you to help you in all the areas. And the other one, we feel it is like passion towards our profession. The first thing, the bonding or any caring or giving assurance or being responsible, everything comes only because of the passion which we had. As from the story, we have come to know the person who has a passion of teaching, only that person can enjoy his job. The same thing we would like to say, like having passion towards our job and giving assurance to the students that we are here. This may help the students to perform better. These values have helped us more in our teaching. Thank you.
There is empathy. Once there is a thought of empathy in children, there is many other ideas that come with an empathy. Once a person is empathized with the other person, once the child or the teacher or anyone starts looking at life in different perspectives, it opens up many arenas. And I believe that children, more than listening to what we say, they learn from what we do. So as teachers, I think if we are empathizing to children, children will empathize other children and they learn that value. And if there is that value within children, it will greatly affect their learning curve.
So today, as we are talking about all these things which are valuable, so I just want to go with one more point, that is positive mindset. So in these days, actually, teachers are not having the acceptance that what we are saying, and children are not having the acceptance that what they are learning. So we have to inculcate this thing in their mind, that they have to take everything positively. Right? Thank you so much.
Dr. Gopal Krishna from Nana University, Assistant Professor. Intellectual values, sir. This is both from positive thinking and negative thinking. The teacher must be be optimist. The students also, the scientific awareness, the mathematical awareness, maximum of awareness towards of the reach their greater heights. Maybe the intellectual thinking is the most important. So that's why intellectual values is the most criteria of the teacher profession. Thank you.
Solve the problem in a very positive way. It was a very negative thing. What I called a parent, I motivated her. She was a very uneducated parent. It took me some time to solve the problem, and not only the parent as well as the teacher, and I could do the problem. It was a very long story to be continued. Anyways, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
To promote the importance of teacher ethos in our school to begin with, for sure. I would also like to thank our director, Mr. Shankara Ravi Kumar, for his uttermost dedication in providing for us every opportunity, every suggestion, and providing us the space to do whatever we want to do with uttermost dedication. Thank you, sir, for your effort.
అత్యున్నత విద్యా ప్రమాణాలు ఉన్నప్పుడే పోటీ ప్రపంచంలో విలువలతో కూడిన విద్యకు అవకాశం ఏర్పడుతుంది. ఆ దిశగా లారెల్ హై గ్లోబల్ స్కూల్ ప్రయాణించడం అభినందనీయం. తమ విద్యా సంస్థే కాకుండా రాష్ట్రంలో అన్ని విద్యా సంస్థలు అంతర్జాతీయ ప్రమాణాలతో కూడి ఉండాలని లారెల్ కోరుకోవడం భావితరం విద్యార్థులకు వరం అనే చెప్పాలి.